Ethical service doesn't start at the site, it starts with you. It begins with self-reflection, awareness, and a genuine willingness to understand context before taking action. The first step is examining your intentions. Before engaging in service, pause and ask yourself, why do I want to serve? Good intentions are a meaningful starting point, but they are not the same as good impact. Even when we mean well, our actions can overlook or misunderstand what a community truly needs. Ethical service requires both good intentions and accountability for impact. Maybe you want to make a difference. Maybe you want to build professional skills. Maybe it's a course requirement. All of these motivations are valid, but they need to be examined honestly. Ask yourself, am I here to help or to feel good about helping? What do I hope to gain from this experience? How might my motivations shape the way I interact with others? It's worth recognizing that you may ultimately gain more from a service experience than the community partner does. Sitting with that honestly doesn't weaken your commitment, it strengthens it. Awareness allows you to serve with humility rather than assumption. We now are going to hear from a community partner for a real-life example about intentions versus impact.
This makes me think of a time where we had a student volunteer who was working with in the local Boys and Girls Club. The Boys and Girls Club mentioned that there was never bicycles donated to older kids. So the volunteer decided they were going to rehab and get bikes for the older ones. The problem was if everyone in the whole center got a bike that didn't have one, they would have to get about 30 bikes. So the volunteer decided to take that on. They worked with a local organization and started learning how to get bikes for people, make sure they were fixed and road ready. But the volunteers said they would have them done in too short of a timeline. So by the time the day came of the bikes needing to be finished, instead of asking for help or other partners, they just weren't able to really fully accomplish the goal. And that's one of the times where when I was reflecting with the volunteer, they just really wanted the kids to have the thing that they didn't have, have the bicycles, but weren't able to actually follow through. And so when we debriefed it together, I was telling them how it would have been really helpful if they just would have stated they were in over their head earlier, or asked for an extension, or partnered with other orgs to do the same kind of work. That's one of those moments though for me when I think back on it where there was an okay result, but it could have been really, really great if the student had just mentioned their insecurities or their areas where they were getting stuck. Because we all are not good at things until we are. It just takes time to be better. But I was proud of them after that for trying to learn that lesson of asking for help when the time comes.
Thank you to the Jackson Center. Intentions are good, but we need the impact to be as well. Ethical service happens when your goals align with the community's goals. That means entering with a mindset of partnership, not performance, listening first, asking questions, and learning from those who live and work within the community before drawing conclusions. It's not about arriving with solutions, it's about collaborating towards shared understanding and sustainable change. Each of us brings our own identities and life experiences into service. This is called positionality, an awareness of how our social position shapes the way we see the world and the way others experience us. Your education, socioeconomic background, race, gender, or other aspects of identity may influence your assumptions and how you're perceived in the communities you serve. Ask yourself, how might my background shape how I view this community? What strengths and blind spots do I bring? How can I create space for others' voices and leadership rather than centering my own? Ethical service begins when we connect self-awareness with intentional action, when we match good intentions with accountability, respect, and a genuine willingness to learn alongside others. It's important to ask yourself about your intentions as you commit to service and ensure they align with community goals to make sure you are genuinely and intentionally serving others instead of yourself.